welcome back, friends. I'm Daniel, and my wife and I travel full-time on our converted cargo trailer, and today's video topic is going to be fixing leaks. This wasn't a topic that I thought we were going to need to cover, but apparently we do. As you can see, I've got some plastic over that window right there, and the reason for that is that's where we're getting some leaks. Now, we originally had a different window in here. This was actually replaced under warranty because our first window was leaking pretty bad. And part of the reason for that, I think, was that there's these plugs that go in the bottom, these that allow the weep holes, any moisture buildup to leak out. And that wasn't pulled. Those plugs were left in by the manufacturer, and the dealer didn't catch it. So we, it was great. We got it replaced under warranty, but we're still having issues. And we thought maybe one of two things of why. So you'll notice there's no rain guard on top of that window there. And, most RVs don't have rain guards either, but you'll notice every other opening on the trailer has it. So we have one up there. This window over here has one, and also right above the door has one. So part of our thinking was, well, maybe we need a rain guard. And so Colorado Trailers, who is the manufacturer of our trailer, or the dealer, Cargo Crafters manufacturer, is sending us a paint matched rain gutter that we're going to install there. Hopefully it'll be in this week, and I can include that in this video. But I'm starting to also think that maybe the leak is higher up. So you'll see I have a piece of duct tape up there underneath that plastic. And we are starting to have some water come in behind our puck light on the inside during a heavy rainfall 2 days ago. And so that's telling me it's actually higher than the window, or there's two problems. There's that, and there's the window. So we're gonna have to undo these screws. You'll see there's a seam here, and that's part of the reason I think why. I think some of the silicone in the seam is not fully sealed. I mean, maybe I'll get a close up here, but behind some of these guys, there's little gaps. And those little gaps, even though they're silicone filled, they could wear out over time. Some of that silicone maybe wasn't applied quite as much. So I've got another product I'm gonna use, and I'll go over that when it's drier this week, of what we're gonna actually do. But I'm gonna pull this whole seam apart on top and bottom and shove that in there. But for now, we've got some plastic on there, and that's stopped the water leakage for now. And that's good, because it's been pretty heavy. It's only misty right now, but it's been pretty heavy. I mean, take a look at how much flooding we've gotten there. Poor horses are just sopping wet. Hard to tell if they're actually eating or drinking, or both at the same time. But anywho, I'm gonna go back in because it's not lovely out, and we'll catch up with you guys when it's a little bit drier this week and we can actually address some of those issues. All right, guys, so it's been a few days now. It was all sunny yesterday, so let the trailer dry out, which is really, really important before going through and actually trying to seal up any leaks that you might have. You want to make sure everything is dry. So we've had 2 days of sun, should be dry. First step here is to go remove the plastic that I installed during the rainstorm. So let's do that, and then we'll look at that crack. So I can't be 100% sure if this is where the leak was actually coming from or not, but I put a piece of duct tape there. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that and see if there's a lot of play in this overlap here. Okay, and this is a real frustrating thing with leaks, is it's like, is that right there enough of a gap and play that's actually causing it? Is there silicone behind it? I don't know. There's maybe a little spot right here, and then one up here Beyond that, everything else here looks pretty good. You push on this and there's silicone there that's holding. Kind of go around the trailer and do that in a couple spots and see if the silicone holds. Yes. And you should always come and take a look at your roof. So if we're having a problem, it probably would have come from over here, but all of this lap seal looks good to me. There's no obvious signs of any other damage to the roof or leak. All right, so there's that nub I was talking about the other day, guys. It's kind of like a little drain plug, so it holds it so that water doesn't go into there, but then the bottom one should not be in, so it can actually drip out. And our original window, they were both in there, and that was part of the problem. We were getting a lot of water build up behind this window, and then it was leaking inside. But they're no longer in there in this new one, so that's not the problem. Okay, so when fixing leaks, you got kind of two options. You can put a silicone behind there, which all of these have silicone behind them already. There's also stuff called Flex Seal Clear. You can get it in different colors, I believe. They come in like a patch or this can. I have the patch, which is great for like if you actually get a roof leak, and I think it's better for RVs where you could have like a tree branch damage and it's just one isolated spot and you can just patch it right onto the rubber. This though, I think is going to be a little bit better for trying to spray into these seals. Now, I did look to see if I could find a bit to pull some of these guys out so I could pull that back away and spray this in. And even though I have the right bit, they're not fitting into these screw holes. A lot of them are stripped, the manufacturer, and they put them in. Maybe the screws aren't good enough screw. Maybe they over tightened a lot of them. But a lot of them are stripped. So I'm afraid to like pull back that outside panel. I really don't want to risk not being able to get the screw back in. So with those two spots that I pointed out that are bowed a little bit, that's where I'm just going to spray this into those two spots, and we'll see what happens during the next rainstorm. So it's going to take some shaking here, so bear with me. Okay, so with this stuff, you really should be wearing eye protection. You should also wear a mask, get some gloves on, and give it a couple sprays away from the surface first, just to clear it. Then when you're done, you want to tip it upside down and spray it a little bit, just to clear it back out again. So we're gonna go ahead and get masked up and get going with it. All right, so first time using this stuff, comes out pretty runny at first, and then it gets real rubbery, which is great. But it means I think I missed a little bit right in here, so I'm gonna go one higher and see if it'll drip down and get rubbery there. Whew. Well, that's all there is to it, guys. I mean, all you can really do with this stuff is trial and error. You know, you go try and find the most obvious point that you're having an issue at, take your best guess at it, seal it up, and then either wait for the next rainstorm or go take a garden hose and hose it on down. I think this stuff actually takes like a day or two to cure, so don't go hose it down right away. Let it have 2 days in the sun to cure, so make sure you're watching your weather when you do this. Okay guys, it's a couple days later now, and I was originally going to put out the video as it was when it finished, and as I explained in the live stream last week, I did not do that because 48 hours after the product cured, that Flex Seal, I looked at it on the side of the trailer and I wasn't happy with it at all. So let me show you that here. So you'll see, for one, yeah, it's a mess. I was going to come back through and scrape that off. You can just do that with like a putty knife or something like that. and I'll get a close-up of this, but basically it didn't actually seal everywhere. Because it runs so runny, it doesn't actually get in the seal. It left basically a couple bubbles all the way down. And so I don't actually know if it's farther in and it did seal it off, or if it didn't seal it off. And I'm not happy with it at all. I would not recommend doing this. I decided to go with a product called lexel, or lexel. And that's recommended by Bill and Deb from I Ride Tiny House Adventures. They used it on the inside of their trailer to seal it up before they added insulation. And I couldn't find a hardware store, ordered on Amazon. It's not here yet. I was going to finish this video with actually like finishing up this project, but I don't think it's going to arrive in time for me to do that. And we unfortunately have rain coming for another 2 days starting tomorrow. So probably going to have to put a piece of like duct tape or something on both of these seams here, just to make sure that we're sealed up and not bringing in water during that period of time. So, you know, that sucks. It's kind of how it goes. But I wanted to share both the failure and successes here, and make sure you guys knew not to use that stuff on a vertical surface. I'm sure on the roof it works great because it'll all pool up in one area, but not on this vertical surface. It's too runny for that, unfortunately. But let's see here. Other channel announcement is I'm going to be having a cargo trailer build 101 series coming out. It's probably going to be like anywhere between a 5 to 10 part video. I haven't exactly decided yet how I want to break that up. Going through all of the basics and a lot of options that there are when building a cargo trailer out, all the way from the ordering process to the build process based on different use cases. So if you guys aren't subscribed, please consider doing so so you don't miss out on that build series. It's also a great way to support us. It's free to you, and we'd really appreciate it. And for everyone else, you know, take it easy, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.